Shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans.
I'm always ready.
All right, well, good. Because I'm ready too. Let's start this.
You know, you just for like the classic point of it, you got to get the red light bulb that says on air, just because I think it's just like a necessity.
I know. Sadly, the first thing I need to do is shut the door. First mistake. Thanks, dogs.
Having little dogs.
You're teaching us right off the bat.
And you'll hear those fuckers throughout the whole thing too.
Hey, will you shut my door? I don't know if there's kids in there.
But see, that's what the little on-air record light. You get a switch.
I know.
Not the dogs are gonna respect the light at all. Dogs don't care about the light.
Not the dogs. So this is the Shenanigans podcast. It's been coming for a while, guys. Here we go. This is Corey. I'm Shannon.
Yeah, it's gotta. I don't know. Do we look at the camera? Do we? Look
I don't
at each
know.
Other?
I don't think so.
I guess we would probably look at the camera if we're talking to the people, like specifically, like you guys need to look up this.
For you guys, this is for you.
But for the most part, we can't just be like, so Shannon.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna sit and talk to the camera.
Let's see.
I think it sounds weird, so
could turn that back. Just want to make it to where we're comfortable. We get a little more space between each other.
Yep.
So we can't hear each other in each other's microphones as much.
There you go. I'll scooch.
We got to scooch the other way because we got to get you. I was saying we got to scooch more because you got to get more on the camera.
All right.
The people need to see you.
Yeah, here,
just counts.
There we go. That's close enough.
I feel like, the people can see your hat.
Hey, there you go. That'll work.
You'll be like Wilson from Home Improvement, except the other side.
Hey guys, let's do this.
Shannon does exist.
Yeah.
He has eyes.
I've been here before, guys.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. All right. So, first thing we were talking about immediately was the new Kevin Smith movie, the reboot of Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Right, which I watched yesterday.
Much anticipated for, 8 years now? 9 years since they've been talking about it?
Well, it's really weird because, it was a sweet movie and I may have cried. I didn't say I did cry. That's not a guilty. That is a could have been maybe. I was emotional that day. I don't know what to tell you. So, it's a cry movie. It was for me, but I cried at Clerks. I cried.
At Clerks?
Oh, Clerks 2. Not Clerks 2.
Clerks 2, okay, makes sense.
No, I was all sappy about it.
Clerks 1, you cried about the whole, you suck 67 dicks. Too
close to home.
What part of Clerks could make you cry?
True.
Clerks 2, I get though, because Kevin Smith grew a lot as a director and everything and a writer.
It hurt. Oh, like all the Jersey Girl and everything, they were so good, but they get you. Like
Chasing Amy. I think that was like a really intense one.
Well, then you'll like the newest Jay and Silent Bob.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm super
cameos
excited.
Galore, baby.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of sad, though, obviously, because like George Carlin's not in this one.
I know.
Which is like, there's a line, and on this side of it, we ain't gay.
Right.
That's probably...
Don't be so suburban.
It's probably one of like the best movie scenes of all time.
Dude, we saw George Carlin at the Holt Center in Eugene in like 2002 or 3, and wearing all black, and he I think it was his last tour, and he killed it, man.
He was still to be pretty old then. Even,
yeah, dude, he killed
70 something or
he was a radio guy. He did like voices on the radio. He did like ping pong, like a little
ping pong.
Yeah, he was one of the guys always. He was one of the best at putting on a show, but like theater of the mind, right? And he did a bunch of different things. And he was fun to listen to because it was just one dude.
Well, actually, whenever I first heard George Carlin, it was off of a CD. I wasn't even watching stand-up. It was actually somebody had got a CD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what tour it was or what show it was, but he was the first comedian I've ever watched strictly, or listened to strictly, not without watching their stand-up or anything. So it's a whole different world. But if you can still laugh at that, you must be doing something right. You know what I mean?
Well, through our lives, we've had to rely on a TV. You got to see it. You got to touch it. You got to smell it. The more real it is. We wanted virtual reality since we were little kids. We're like, by now, I should be fighting like Star Wars characters with a sword, like a lightsaber,
an actual sword. They do it now.
You got the thing on, and you're.
I remember the first VR gear you used to get to go play in like the malls and everything when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
I never did it.
It was like 8 pixels. And you could just literally turn
like blocks.
and then click with like this giant gear thing.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't like that though. See, I didn't want computers until I could get on the computer and click a button and go to a site. So I didn't even use the internet until 2006.
So you never did like the whole just get on your computer and play pinball or slots or
No.
anything?
My parents had a computer growing up, but me personally, I didn't get one until it was 05, 06, maybe late 05, early 06.
When
I had
really
cable
started
internet.
popping?
I had cable internet. I was like, click, whoa, look, music.
Whoa, look, music. When you were able to give your computer AIDS by downloading music.
I used to download it. I still have the computer, man.
That has all this stuff on
I
there?
think it was too old and crappy for it to get any of those aids because it was so old and crappy that the aids were for newer computers.
It wasn't smart enough
It
to
was
catch
too
up to
old.
it.
Yeah, Windows
The
4.
virus would walk in there and be like, nah, fuck it, you're fine. You don't need no more problems in your life, buddy.
Nobody makes a virus for Windows 4. I'm just saying. Hello, my name is Steve. I have virus for your Windows. What? Oh, Jesus.
4.
And then he clicks
4.
and
4.
No, we don't do 4. And he's out.
It's got too old school of technology. It can't even keep up with it
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying. So I would download LimeWire, and by that time it was a Pirate Bay, and then it turned into.
Well, once torrents came out, that changed
That's
the
what
whole
I'm saying.
world for downloading piracy. Illegal, great things.
I know a person who
There once was a guy who
Who,
may have stolen some music.
who the entire existence of his movies the last maybe since 05
Well,
or
see,
06.
movies weren't supposed to be illegal to share. It was music.
Sure.
So movies had the whole. It's not illegal for me to buy a DVD and let you borrow it.
Oh, that was the argument.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the whole argument. But CDs are like, no, that's still illegal, and that's probably because what was that called? Napster. Whenever Napster,
yeah.
that just fucked everything up for it because it could have went great, but
Well, sadly, it's true. Napster ruined a bunch, and I understand why the Metallica dudes came out and were like, "Hey, we made it. You should pay for it." But I'm broke. So
but I'm broke.
I hear you,
I get
and
it. Like
I hear you
will
from your
come-
mansion.
I will. Come,
But damn it,
I think the dog just ran into the glass.
Oh.
I will come and see your concerts, and I'll pay for the
Sure,
tickets for that.
sure. There
I'll
you
buy a T-shirt while I'm there.
Yeah.
But I mean, $10.99 for an album shouldn't be making or breaking anybody by the millions.
I'm
but
just saying that if I want to listen to it, they put it on YouTube anyways. Come on, man. I got Pandora. I can listen to all your music, and I
Oh
don't
yeah,
even pay
streaming
for it.
changed the whole game up though. But back whenever it was just torrents, I never really got why it was legal still music. As somebody who made music, I'm the first. Whenever I first found out somebody made a torrent of my CD, I'm like, yeah,
I've been pirated.
my music's on
I've been pirated? Oh my
my
God.
music's on the black market, you guys. All right.
So when is Al gonna call me and do a remix? Huh?
Yeah,
Weird Al?
just
Is this
waiting,
Weird
just
Al?
waiting.
Please, Lord, let it be Weird Al. I heard a story that Kurt Cobain didn't think that he had made it. Like, he didn't consider his fame until Weird Al called him. He was like, "What? You want to make fun of one of my songs?" Yes,
now
absolutely.
It's official. Now
Yes,
it's official.
I did it.
Yeah. Coolio's the only one I think that ever got mad about it whenever he redid Gangster's Paradise.
did.
Yeah, Coolio got all time. I think now he's fine with it. He's probably accepted it and appreciated it. But I remember at the time he was kind of all tickled, like, no, I'm a hard rapper. You can't remake my music. And Weird Al's like, just hold my beer. Watch me.
Is it wrong that I like that version of it better than? I'm sorry.
So Gangster's Paradise is probably like the first rap song I ever listened to that I remember when I was a kid. I remember I listened to that and Waterfalls by TLC like on the same day. Exactly.
That's like the 90s.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Fly, Captain.
So that's like the first song I've ever talked about. That was like my first influence to rap music, really. So I've always had a very soft spot for that song. And then whenever Weird Al's version came out, like it's even me who's like, that song was such a big deal in my life. I still hear the Omnish Paradise.
Oh, me too. Me too. I can't even
4:30
sing.
in the morning, the milking cows. Jedediah feeds the chicken and Jacob plows. Fool.
Fool. I've been milking clouds so long that even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone.
And Coolio's listening to this song right now like, you son of a bitch. And he's probably mad. He's like, God, it's so clever. Why does it fit so
why?
perfectly?
If I'd have just wrote those lyrics first, I would have been. No.
He tried to do the know when to hold him, know when to fold him remix, and it was like, I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
yeah, I'll give you that.
That
one.
was his answer to Omnish Paradise,
Oh,
and it failed.
Yeah, well, you can't take a Kenny Rogers song and turn it into something else.
It was a horrible
I mean, maybe
idea.
you can. Maybe there's someone out there that can. But
Somebody's trying it.
yeah, that's not right. Just not right.
Yeah, it was a horrible idea. It's one of the, like, I don't know, like VH1 or one of those music channels that used to play music things related, you know.
Oh yeah, before MTV had no
back in the
music.
good old days. That was just what is it like? New age television? I don't know what they call it. Is it still MTV?
I don't have any idea. I haven't seen it in so
Nothing-
long.
Yeah, it's been years.
The last time I saw it was Viva La Bam, and that was MTV2. So it had to be good.
it was legendary. Viva La Bam.
Any thing with a 2 next to it's like that's gotta be the one.
Not FXX. There, that whole season or that whole channel just failed.
Well, I did like Archer though. That's one of my
Archer's
favorite.
one of my favorite.
Come on,
cartoons,
man,
yeah.
you can't.
My brother Cody was watching Archer. Or my brother, a guy I know.
A guy I know.
We're working on that part. He was watching it. He's like, "You got to watch the show," and I'm like, "No, it's gonna be stupid. I don't need to watch enough cartoons." Blah blah blah. I've already watched Family Guy and American Dad. What more do I need?
That's true. That's true.
And then like 4 episodes into Archer, I'm all, "This is legendary.
Oh.
He just drinks all the time."
So if I had to be a stressed out world spy, I think I'd be just like that. Because you don't know if you're gonna live tomorrow. What he's having sex with like transvestite whores and gets an infection. Like
It's
that's
Frank Gallagher, sir.
the greatest.
You've watched Shameless?
No, my wife
okay.
loves Shameless.
Okay.
I saw the first episodes up until when Frank's son's girlfriend finds him in the basement and like takes advantage of him on camera. I was like, yeah, I don't want to see. It's too real.
Too real.
That's
Too
just
real.
like
Too real.
I know that it's a show, but some of those things are just I don't like to see that kind of negativity.
Well, Frank Gallagher pretty much has the same idea that he'll do any drugs he wants to or
Sure.
drink all he wants to and party
Sure.
away all day because he's gonna live every moment, blah blah blah.
Sure.
So he's getting sucked off in the bathroom and he's all like, "Well, you can give a head like that. Who cares if you got an Adam's apple?" And I'm just like, there's certain
That's a good
moments.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
you're
a good-
like you're watching through. It's a tranny or something like that, and you're watching through the show, and there's certain moments when you're just like, they really don't give a single fuck.
No.
And there's like 3 or 4 episodes a season, or 3 or 4 moments in a season where you're just like, even I'm shocked, and I've been watching this since the beginning, and I'm like, they really just don't care. It's like South Park, you know what I mean?
I know. It's just, I think that those situations are just a little too real today. If it was 20, 30 years ago, it would have been so far-fetched that it would have been 100% perceived some fantasy world of this fantasy Frank and this fantasy family. But now I can picture these people being some of the people that actually live or have to live out there. I mean, their scenario is pretty messed up, and they make the best of what they can.
I mean, I would say it's probably the accumulation of taking 20 families, putting them all in one, and
Sure.
that's exactly what would happen to one family if it was all of them put
It's
together.
because of situations like this, I do understand why people are social justice warriors. That they want to see people taken care of because life can lead to these bad things. And I think they're right, but I can't watch the shows. Like, I can't watch a show where a dog gets hurt.
Makes
Or
sense.
animals get. I
That's why
get
they
all
don't
upset.
even do that anymore. Yeah,
And children, if anything happens to children, I
I try to make it very clear. Like, if it's not animals or kids, I don't care. It's fine.
yeah,
but...
kind of, But outside of that, I'm pretty good with people making mistakes and falling into wood chippers. Who was it the other day said that? Oh, maybe that's just nature.
Oh, like weaning out the stupid or something
Seriously?
like that. Like, I love the thing that came out a long time ago. It's like, I'm not saying let's kill all the stupid people, but let's remove the warning labels and let the problem sort itself out. And I think that's valid. I mean, if we can't get the Thanos snap thing down, we can at least do something like that. Like, we shouldn't have to keep your hands away from the blades on a lawnmower.
So that's a good point, though. These guys are talking about there's going to be overpopulation in the world. How would we fix something like that? You said it. Snap the fingers of Thanos. I mean, that would be the best way to do it, right? Okay, well, outside of that...
It's fair. There's no picking or choosing.
How do you kill people, though? Who does that? Who can do that? How are we supposed...
Attila the Hun, Hitler,
I just...
Saddam Hussein. I mean, kind of the list goes on for quite a while.
So do you think that basically someone else will pop up and try to take down a population?
There's always gonna be some mad villain that wants to take down a whole population.
So how come there's not always a Batman?
And what if there was? But they kill him so fast we never find out. Like, somebody stands up and then just bam. Never mind.
But seriously, the only thing about movies that's wrong is that we have an answer to the evil villain. Because really, we have everything to lose, which is our freedom and our lives and our families and our way of life. And they have nothing to lose because they've already lost all that. So they're going to... Kill everyone
Hitler's
else.
still really mad about the whole getting into art school thing.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I have no
he paid
reason
his
to live
dues.
for.
He paid his dues. I paid up front.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there is somebody that stands up, but nobody pays attention to the heroes. It's just what real life is. Nobody pays attention to the heroes. We always pay attention to the villains. So there could be heroes that are fighting against the mass murderers and stuff like that, but they're not going to get the media attention. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't happen. It never does. It never will. People care about, well, I guess we shouldn't say people. Individuals care about the hero. Yeah. But as a mass, we care about the story of the villain more than anything.
But what if they're a mass of local heroes? I don't mean like all dudes that dress up like Zorro and shit and go around doing stuff. I mean like people that take
You've
action.
watched Kick-Ass. I mean,
Well,
I'd probably join.
I couldn't do it.
You don't think so?
I'm too chunky. Look, I could be like, hey guys, I'm on the microphone. I can tell you stuff.
You'd be the guy in the computer chair.
That's the best I can do. All right, if I had to be an X-Men, I'd be the dude with the bald head riding around a wheelchair.
I'm on my way, you guys. I'm coming. Don't worry. Oh shit, we're going the other way. Give me time. I'll be there.
Hold on, it's a 2-point turn. It's a 2-point turn. God damn it.
You end up getting stuck like Austin Powers in the hallway. You know what? Fuck it. You guys save the days. I'm out.
Go on ahead. I'll catch up.
I mean, you can also just imagine yourself as being the comic relief or whatever. They came back from a rough mission where we lost somebody.
Yeah.
And you just walk in with
say the wrong stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
You'd be like I do now.
What happened to Susan? She finally found that right guy. Huh?
Yeah,
she ran off. No, she died. Oh, I'm a dick.
Oh yeah, I thought she just put that down payment on that ring. Maybe I can find that receipt and go get that down payment.
Oh, did you ever propose to Susan? No, she died. I'm gonna leave the room now.
Hey guys, see you at the funeral.
So the other one that reminds me of, you seen the Joker, right? The new
yes.
one. He just finished offing the guy in the house with the scissors, and the midget's freaking out, and he's all like, "It's okay, you can go." He runs up to the door. I thought that is by far the best moment in cinematic history for all of 2019 because the midget's trying to reach the chain.
So that's a throwback to a movie done years ago, where there's a dude sitting at the kitchen table, and he gets a phone call, and the midget guy brings it to him. And he talks to him for a second, and he gives the phone back. And the phone thing's up on the wall like this far, right? And so he's in the front ground, I need to do this. And, he's talking to somebody. And in the background, that midget, he can't, it shows him run by and try to, dunk the phone on the receiver, right? So this is an old thing that's been... It's like a
I don't know if I can
joke.
breathe. I don't know if I can breathe. If I seen that in a movie theater, I'd die. Just a midget running up. Oh shit!
He's
trying to lasso it.
He did. It was great. If I can find the movie later, I'll try to play that clip in.
I feel like that's
so
something
funny.
that needs to get added. So yeah, just split it up here a little bit, and then the bottom right hand corner have the midget just.
If I can do it, you guys, I'm still working on it.
You can probably find the Joker one too.
I'll try to find these little clips and put them in.
Try to find the Joker one too because it's great. The guy, he's all freaking out, and then he turns around and he's all like, "Hey, Arthur," and he's all, "Oh, of course."
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, nothing's better than when a psychopath cracks. I mean, that you don't watch a show about a psychopath to see where he ends up because you know where he ends up. You want to see the moment it happened. You're like, what did his mom say?
Yeah. What did his mom say?
Because, everybody's got some issues with somebody, and it's probably his mom.
Well, and they're all sitting there. The biggest thing I heard about Joker, from people that actually had educations and thought about the movie instead of just being cynical assholes.
Sure.
It was it was a really slow starting movie, and I'm like, well, yeah, but
I loved it.
Most psychos are slow starting. You know what I mean? So it wants to build up into that reason of why he snaps.
It was edgy.
We could have watched the movie for 5 years ahead of time, and I still probably would have watched the whole 5-year build-up just waiting for that moment to happen.
It was, and that's what I'm saying. Is that point where you crack, and it's sad. I mean, it's really sad because that's what it's like a wreck in NASCAR. That's what you want to see. But that is the point that makes all the difference in the world. Did you watch that show about the I think it's on Netflix about they go and they talk to all these like murderers?
Oh yeah, the ones in prison and everything.
Yes, yeah. And that was the creation of what we have today, where they got the when they break down someone that they're looking for, they can go after whatever that's called, the
profiling.
The profile, right? That's what profiling.
They build serial killer profiles. Yeah.
I just thought that was pretty
because
cool.
they did, it was like the original people that did that.
Yeah.
And, but they only had like one season, right? I think they came out second one. I missed it. I remember I watched the whole first season, and I was like, "This is an interesting show." It's called Profile or something like that.
I can't remember.
But I don't know if they ever made a second season of it. But I remember I watched it. They interviewed all these different serial killers, and he got like to meet the one that nobody else could, and somebody like that. That was pretty cool. But then I mean, like that helped us have like Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Lecter and all that stuff. But the idea about it is, I guess, like, do people actually have creative ideas like that before serial killers started?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, like, were somebody, like, back in, like, the 1800s writing books about serial killers, like, this would never happen. How could you fathom such a thing? Yeah. and then they're like...
So at what point in history did man become a piece of shit?
So much. Valid question.
I think that goes a little further back than that. Like, back to where we bonked chicks on the head and drug them into our hole.
I mean, we go back to Jack the Ripper being the original multiple murder, serial killer, whatever it was.
There was
right?
more than that. That's just the first one recorded.
That's just the first one. I agree, first one recorded. But even if it was recorded, it wasn't that big of a story. Nope. They didn't know about it all over the world now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You stub your toe right now, and it breaks it. Probably 700 people know by the time you get home from the hospital. It's in the news. It's on Facebook.
That is true.
So, I mean, imagine how many times that actually happened. And people had stories about it, or they knew the serial killer or something like that. Like a Sweeney Todd thing was actually happening, and they knew this person. They were writing the story, and they handed it off, and they're all like, "Oh, you're crazy. That would never happen." They're like, "Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. That would never happen.
Right?
Kevin would never do anything like that."
Exactly. Well, dude, I think art imitates life, imitates art, imitates life. I think that cycle goes back and forth since time began.
Since cave drawings and hieroglyphs and everything.
Do you think we're much more than these shaved monkeys that we were before? I mean, I think that people evolved to some extent. I don't know that we came from monkeys or whatever, but I think that wherever we came from, I don't think we're a lot different, because I still have thoughts that don't make sense to the way I live, right? I think everybody has those, where you're like, I just want to take my clothes off and go jump in the river. Like, no, come on. That's not a sane thought for someone that wears clothes.
I mean, it's totally...
That's a tribal wacko
job. It's a
job.
totally sane thought if it's a hot day outside.
Well, and I do that on the hot days, too.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, if it's 30 degrees and you're like, I'm going to jump in the river,
no,
that's psychosis.
That's not what I'm saying. But, you just have these things that you want to do. I don't want to be too,
vulgar?
Yeah, I don't want to be too dirty.
Too dirty.
You know.
I don't want people to know who I am just yet.
Well,
give them time.
Come on.
I want them to wait for it.
Set the hook, reel it in, and then
Christopher Titus says
we'll
it.
Figure
You
it out.
better lighten the fuck up, people. We're going a lot farther than that here tonight.
There's at least 2 or 3 good jokes coming out. At least. Maybe.
But I mean, I guess it's no different than, people deciding they're going to live in a van in the woods for the rest of their lives. Like,
would you do it?
God, me, no. I'm way too accustomed to...
You like hot water?
It's not the hot water. I mean, it's more like the internet, like not being able to just watch a movie.
Okay. Let's say that your van had a pole like they do at the fucking trailer park that had power and cable internet.
Oh.
And a landline if you needed it.
If I could live in a small confined space all day. I would love to be a minimalist. Like, that would be fantastic.
I want to start a community of these little buildings.
Like little tiny houses?
Yep.
I'd be so
like
down
on nice
house.
Property that's manicured and pretty.
Leveled. You got a garden.
Yeah,
you got some space.
Well, no, you'd have your own space. It'd be like a half acre.
Yeah.
Just for you.
And there's just a little tiny home. That's all you need.
A whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
A fucking...
It's called a commune. Down.
Well, but so in the middle... Don't steal my thunder. In the middle, I would have a bigger mess hall type. Remember summer camp? It's like summer camp, except for you have everything in the house you need. But then also there'd be a meeting hall to where maybe we can have breakfasts together and things. If you wanted to live more socially, that would be available, right? Or if you wanted to be a hermit, be a hermit.
Yes.
But this is where you live. This is how it works, whatever. But you have your own space. And it's enough
like
space.
Like a community area, or what's it called? Like a...
You know how I'm too close to this guy next door because I can take a piss and he can see me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Take a piss out your front door, take a piss out your back door. No one can see you. Okay? That's how far you are, or trees or whatever between you, to where you have your own space. But you live within a community of people that are really close, and everyone has a plan, and everybody takes care of each other in a sense. So, but the rent's cheap because I own it.
Ultimately, the rent's just cheap is the selling point you need right there. The rent's cheap.
It's because I'd have it full all the time.
And those tiny home things are pretty nice too. I don't know if you see them. They take those little storage containers, they turn them into like a 5-star hotel right on the inside of them. They're pretty nice.
Well, there's several ideas, but it's the amount you spend per thing, and then you just have to amortize it over a certain amount of time. So I don't really need it to get rich. I just need it to pay for
Who would pay for the common ground, the commons?
That would be kind
of a divided up amongst thing.
That would be for everyone. It would be the social, named after socialism. It would be the social area. So it belongs to the property. So it doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to you. Whoever lives there, which I would be a resident as well. It belongs to everybody. We all use it together. Whenever you need.
And I assume like one day I'm all like, man, it would be really cool in this social area, an air hockey table. And I'm like, look, I'm buying an air hockey table. Anybody else want to chip in on the air hockey table?
That's pretty much how it works.
If not, buy my own air hockey table, and everybody can use it because you gotta have entertainment.
Well, see, there would be, like I said, I've got a couple of different ideas, but the main one I think would be it'd be multiple buildings instead of one big meeting area, right? So buildings that, let's say, maybe you can open up between, but mainly stuff's going to be done in the summertime. You figure this is, like I said, like a summer camp. So what I was thinking was a retreat for 6 months out of the year, or we could do a winter version and a summer version.
It depends. If it's in Southern Oregon, it's kind of harder in the winter. But I mean, if it's in northern to Southern California, where it's just nice all year round,
right.
What's the difference?
Well, so I would have more. I mean, I would litter this property with these things, and I don't want to hurt any of the nature that's there. You know what I mean? I want it to cut down as minimal. I don't want to cut any trees down. I don't want to take any bushes out. Just the minimal amount I can take. And so I would route it to where it was, it made sense. But then I would have it to where, like I said, it's private, individually private. The damn dogs keep coming up and laying by the thing. You can see them right here in the background.
They want to be known. They want to be
doggies?
seen. They want people to know we're there too.
You know what?
Let them in.
I mean, I just
They feel lonely, I think.
Come on, guys. You stupid dogs. Don't come in here and go barking.
They probably will. Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, barky dogs.
So, what about the whole power and running water, septic and everything? Wouldn't that be kind of with that much space in between areas?
Well, it can be done. All right. So most of them, your septics, I think you can do a single and then multiple homes on one, and I think it goes by the square footage, not by the dwellings. So I can have, Aranco's an Oregon company. It's up in Sutherland, and they'll do. They have a dump. I can figure it out. Even
it's
if we had,
impossible.
Dude, even if we had to have shower areas with one, toilet area that was a stall. Come on. It's not that bad.
Nobody wants to get out of bed and walk 500 feet to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
That doesn't mean that you couldn't have a urinal in the house.
Yeah, you'd have to have something, right?
Yeah.
Some type of backup emergency. Use quick.
Well, I plan on having showers in the house too.
Yeah.
It's got to be as much like home as possible.
Community showers sound way funner though.
Well, no, it would.
You guys ever play Twister in a shower? Corey, you're making this weird.
Yeah. No, they would have their own doors. Like, there's a couple of camp spots that have more of an open shower and like your own rooms that are nice. And I just figure we'd run it like a hotel. Clean the showers every day, do the thing. On weekends, not every weekend, but weekends in the summer, we'd have people come by and entertain.
Well, you'd probably be surprised how many people would just be
Airbnb, baby.
Yeah, everybody would just be interested in
Airbnb.
going back in and out of there all the time.
So for everyone you have, if you figure you get $100 a night for 200 nights, that's one. That's just one.
One source of income.
Well, 200 times 100 is what?
200,000.
Yeah, not 200,000. It's like 20,000.
20,000.
I don't know. Here, I can never do math.
You would never think we're salesmen.
I know. I don't try to do math. It's not 100. I just can't figure out the zeros right now because I'm off. It's 20,000. So $20,000 a season. And that's if you have one.
Yeah. So I mean, you times that by 5 to 8.
Oh, I'm thinking like 30.
Then you get your actual just regular renters.
Well, so that was the point. I would like to have, like I said, 100 acres of this, and then, I mean, for retirement, it'd be great because people, like I said, I would definitely. I'd have people I thought was cool could live near, because I'd have a place there too.
Yeah, you want to be able to at least handle these people.
And now, don't forget, I would have the tiny house mansion. Okay, it would be all the little tiny houses all put together to make one cool. Actually, I'm a big fan of the freight. What are those? The big boxes?
Yeah, the metal boxes,
steel boxes.
That's what I thought they made them out of.
Which you can. I looked at that and I like the wood better because wood feels more warm and comforting. Steel to some people I don't think is as exciting.
The outside's not
Let's
as
go live in a
appeasing.
steel box it may be the nicest steel box you've ever been. Taj Mahal inside, you don't know.
But it's still a
steel box.
It's still a steel box.
But a wood place is more rustic, and that's what people want. So, my house would be a steel structure built out of those cargo containers, and it would literally be like I showed you little pigs, right?
Oh yeah,
That's how it would be.
There's just a lot of them all stacked.
Yeah,
up.
well, one would have
If you ever look it up, there's plenty of videos or plenty of
Tons.
screenshots of like these cool ones that
Tons.
are all cargo houses put
They're
together.
doing them in
with
the
windows.
cities.
Yeah, all over the place.
because they
man.
can build up.
Yeah, which is genius.
That's what I said.
Apartment complexes coming out kazoo like that.
What they set the container on the ground. Okay, you guys listen, and they build a set inside, like a living room. Then the next one they build a kitchen in, and they just put them together, like cut a hole, put them together, and ta-da! All you got to do is finish off in between. It's amazing.
Yeah, then they'll like that. So I say you got L-shaped, and then they'll just cut off that area and make it look like a little deck. Next
Right.
thing you know, you got a nice house going on there.
And they'll stack them, stagger them, and then put a
bed-
roof on top.
Put a
of
bedroom on top of it. Now
It's
it's
amazing.
cool. Yeah, that's great. Insulation is supposed to be fantastic for them too, because the steel things are supposed to be like pre-insulated. Then you
Yeah.
actually add
them.
insulation.
Well, you're going to
onto
build
that.
walls inside, so you
Yeah.
can build them as thick as you need to.
Yeah, but
whatever.
you want to be able. I mean, it's the steel containers I've been into are wider than this room. Like they're
Yes.
pretty. They got some space in there ultimately.
Well, the foam technology is so much better, and I think that's what they're using. Is they're using either that or I wouldn't be surprised if they start using that green hempcrete stuff. Just build a wall, fill it full of this. It may be heavy, but that's okay if you have a big steel building.
Nothing's worried about heavy. There's no structure you have to worry about.
The force down is. Come on. you got
The
skyscrapers.
foundation, I guess, is the only thing you have to worry about. I mean, the steel buildings are going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to survive whatever.
Well, and of course, the way I'd want it, there'd be stilts, because it would go out on stilted edges.
It's got to go out. I mean, it's got to
So
have.
you can walk out and open the deck and be over.
It's got to have like dimension to it. You know what I mean? It can't just be
Yeah.
like flat square. That's not cool. I don't know. I guess if you stacked them like in a big cube with the common area in the center of it, it'd be kind of cool.
I got all
I'd
sorts of
probably like
ideas.
that.
I don't know. I'd sit around and draw it up. I'd have a team of people that have nothing to do for a half hour.
It's the team of people with nothing to do.
Hey, give them some honey and see what they can do.
Design your coolest house out of steel box you can off this honey stick.
Hey.
Go.
What? Am I wrong? Because that's what would happen. People are like, oh my god, this one looks like a, guitar.
This one looks
I don't
like
know.
a guitar.
I don't know. It's better than Jobin. Okay.
I painted this one like a piano. We're starting a band now. We changed ideas. We're now starting a band.
Yeah. Those are the people I hang out with.
Which
too.
would be super cool. Like, how'd your band start? We were actually designing houses one day. Somebody drew a guitar, I drew a piano. Next thing you know, we're on tour.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Thanks, you guys, for checking this out. That's the podcast. I got a few more coming out. I just wanted to remind you to like and share and tell all your friends. Love you.